Hey guys, how you doing? Gavin Timms with REI Network, back with another episode. I've got an awesome guest with me today. Something that he does that no one else is really doing in the space. So you definitely want to make sure you listen to this and take note. Tony Javier, how you doing, bud? Good to have you on.
What's up, Gavin? Good to talk to you again, man. Been a while.
It has. I appreciate you jumping on. I like to refer you to TV Tony. I don't know if anyone else calls you that, but that's definitely what I kind of throw out. So we're going to kind of dive in. Obviously, I've just given away that you are the TV guy. It's pretty unique what you do. And I think this is going to get a lot of interest because, you know, me being one, I want to learn from you as well today. I'm not doing anything with TV. So that's super interesting that, you know, how you do that. And I think for what you offer and what you do is super affordable, because as soon as I think TV, I think a lot of money. Okay. And so we're going to kind of dive in and go through all that. But before we do it, let's go back to kind of a little bit about you, kind of where you live in and you know, your investing journey, and then we'll get right into the TV scene.
Yeah, sounds great. Love sharing the journey. It's been 20 years this year that 20 years ago, I started my real estate investing career. I bought a info product on TV called No Down Payment by Carlton Sheets, old school. A lot of people early in the game or, you know, a little bit older, my age or a little bit older, know Carlton Sheets. So that was how I got started. I bought the program in college a couple of years before I was supposed to graduate, and then ended up leaving college with 9 hours left to graduate, and started my real estate but decided to go full-time into real estate investing. So quit my job waiting tables, quit school, and said, man, this is what I'm doing. Loving it. And just, you know, so much opportunity in this business. So over the last 20 years, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of contractors, a lot of employees. You know, I've been through the ringer on a lot of different things. But what it comes down to is now in my business, I just love things that are more automated, things that are more simple. I like, you know, doing things that other people aren't doing. And, you know, I've got several different businesses that are doing things very unique, including the TV business we just talked about. Yep. And so the way the TV came about was 9 years ago. I went to a poker game and I saw this guy and I'm like, that guy's on TV. And, you know, this whole celebrity status thing, I'm like, man, this is super cool. I got to meet this guy that's on TV. He was a contractor and he was super cool guy. We sat next to each other playing cards. And I was like, hey man, how your TV commercials doing? You know? And he's like, man, we're crushing it on TV. We're doing like, I think it was like $2 million worth of business or something like that from our TV commercials. And he goes, that's what has built our brand. And he goes, you know, you need to call my TV guy. You need to call Drew, my guy. And I think your business would do well on it. He goes, you're flipping houses. That's kind of a cool business. And so long story short, I called Drew up and I said, hey man, you know, tell me about this TV thing. And so he ran me through the whole thing. He produced the commercial, helped me with the scripts, helped negotiate the rates and all that good stuff. And within, I want to say it was like 3 to 4 weeks, I was on TV, spent $3,000 my first month, made $35,000, and I was hooked. Nice. So yeah, 9 years in business, been doing about the same numbers. You know, last year was 11 times the return on my money. Spent about 3 hours on TV last year, and that's it. So, you know, TV is just something that not a lot of people are doing, like you said. And I mean, there's so many different benefits to TV we can get into, but that's kind of how I started my business. And then now it's like with things like TV and automation, like, you know, that's what it's all about these days, is trying to figure out how to do business with less and finding ways to do business that nobody else is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from the automation standpoint, I'm 100% with you. Kind of that's what my whole business is as well. Like, how can I kind of do none of it, right? How can I put things in place so I can focus on the high dollar in our activities? So we definitely align there. But this TV, you know, the TV side, as a concept, even to me, I just feel a lot of money, right? I feel it's going to be really expensive. Right, it's going to be 20 grand a month or more to do it, to get on TV, and you've got to be like doing like probably 100 grand a month to even consider getting on TV. But I'm sure you're about to tell me that that's not the case. So what kind of criteria people are you looking for? Because I guess you're not looking for the newbie, or are you?
Yeah, so I'll go through the whole thing with you. So first of all, the reason that there's no competition really. So when I talk to people in different markets, I ask them, I said, have you ever seen anybody on TV that's doing what I'm doing and what I'm showing you? Every once in a while, I've seen one guy on TV. Only once or twice have I heard someone saying there's two people on TV doing this. Most of the time it's zero. Most of the time people say, I have never seen anybody on TV asking people to buy their house, right? And so that right there shows me that there's really no competition. Because if you think about it, if you go into any market, there's probably hundreds to thousands of investors that are doing postcards, cold calling, texting, Facebook ads, all the traditional methods, right? So it's super competitive, right? And you can still make money with those. I know you've got a great system for what you do, but when you can find something that nobody's doing and you're actually getting in front of people that aren't competing, or that you're not competing for the same business with 5 other investors, to me, that's where the magic happens, right? So if I can go into a seller appointment, or my team, I used to go on seller appointments, having a long time, but when my team goes in and we're the only ones that are competing against that business, it makes it easier. Even if we are competing against other people, if we're the TV people, we've had people give us the deal, even though we offered them less money, because we're on TV, because we're the authority. They trust us. They've seen us on TV, right?
Yeah.
So going into what you're talking about with costs. So the reason there's no competition, I feel like, is that people think it's too expensive, like you said. People don't know where to start. Like, for instance, when I was introduced to TV, if I didn't have the media guy that got me into TV, I would have had no idea where to start. I wouldn't know what stations to call. I wouldn't know which reps to trust. I wouldn't know what shows to be on. So the thing is now I've got 9 years of data showing what shows you need to be on based on the things that I've tested. We can help you produce the commercial. We've got the scripting. We've tested different commercials, so we have all that data, right? So as opposed to someone going and trying to do it all themselves, find someone to film the commercial, doing the scripts themselves, figuring out what graphics to put in, what shows do I need to be on. There's so many different components to it. And if you go and you hire someone to do all that for you, they're probably going to charge you minimum of $20,000 to do all the research, to do all the branding, and do everything that I just told you about. And they have no data because there's really no one doing TV commercials for motivated sellers, right? So that is a huge barrier to enter, is the amount of time it takes, the cost perception, and just the time perception. In fact, we just signed up a big real estate investor on the East Coast. And he said he worked for 3 months to try and get on TV. And he said he couldn't get anywhere. He couldn't get reps to call him back. And if they did, they would give him high rates. I mean, there was just all these things that he just didn't have time to work on. Well, with our program, we can get someone on TV within 2 to 3 weeks, because we go and buy the media for you, negotiate the rates. We have a production company produce a commercial. All you have to do is shoot the commercial if you want to, give us the phone number, give us the website, and within 2 to 3 weeks, you're on the air. And here's the beautiful thing. You asked if new investors can get into this program. Yeah. So about, let's see, what has it been? 2.5 months ago, I allowed a new investor to get into the program. Super motivated. He was like begging me to accept him into the program, because I said, you know what, we typically don't take new investors. He's never done a deal before. So he was a quarterback in college. I could tell he was just super motivated. And so I said, you know what, I can just see the passion. And I mean, I wasn't even on Zoom or anything. We're just on the phone. I was like, I can see, even though I can't see you, I can see the passion in your eyes. Like, you're wanting to do this. Yeah. So I signed him up. He's in a big market. And we got on, he called me, was it yesterday morning or the morning before? And he said, guess what? He goes, the first week of airing commercials, I already have 3 deals under contract. That's awesome. So what he's doing is he's partnering with someone in that market that knows what they're doing. So he's either going to wholesale the deals to that guy and make money, or they're going to do the flips together, right? So that just opened my eyes to, okay, now I need to like open this up to newer investors. Because you think about it, when people buy into coaching programs, there's affordable ones at 5 to 10 grand, but you and I know that there are some people out there that will sell $30,000 to $70,000 programs just to teach you how to do it. And then you have to go spend the money to market and do all of that, right? So if I can charge a fraction of the cost, get someone on the air in 3 weeks without them having to go buy lists and do research and all that kind of stuff, and get leads right away, like on the, to get them on the phone or go to the website and fill out the form. It's like I'm charging a fraction of the cost, but I'm getting like 10 times the speed. Because as you know, most people don't do their deal until 6 months, 12 months. They have to work it a long time to get leads and get deals. But people in my program are getting deals within the first week to 3 weeks. And, when I launched the program, I thought to myself, okay, I know it's going to work, but how long is it going to take to work? But the crazy thing is that most of my people that have been in the program have been in less than 60 days. But there's only 2 people in my program that have not gotten their money back and made multiples in return. So let me give you some examples. I got like that guy that I mentioned in the big market. I'm not going to mention which market it is, but he put 3 deals under contract. He didn't give me the specific numbers. He kind of gave me general numbers, but I'm guessing he's going to make, I would guess, at least 70 grand on those 3 deals. Nice. And his ad spend in 1 week was $2,500, right? I've got a guy in a medium-sized market that spent $3,600 in 2 months and made $80,000. I've got another guy in a California market that spent $12,000 in his first month and made back $55,000. And I'm not just giving you like the best results. Like almost all of my students are getting these results, anywhere from like 3 to up to 20 times return on their money within 30 to 60 days. And like I said, I only have 2 people so far that have called me and said, hey man, I'm not quite getting the leads that I need to, or I'm not quite getting the deals under contract. But I mean, the success rate of this has just blown my mind and is something that I don't think anybody else can say that they have this kind of success rate with anything else.
That's awesome. No, that is really, really good. So are you taking on certain markets that are open? Like if someone's already in that spot, like how are you going about that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of room in a lot of markets, right? So, some of the bigger markets, I bet you could have 5 to 6 people doing TV commercials, and you may or may not saturate it, but I guess it depends on the ad spend, right? So if you have 6 people hitting it really hard in a big market, let's say like New York or LA or San Francisco or something like that, yeah, it could get semi-saturated. But, a lot of markets have so much room to go. So we only allow 3 people per market in the big markets. And then the medium and small size markets, it's usually 2 people per market. And then in the really small markets, like the little small markets or little DMAs, we only allow 1 person per market. So that way we feel like it's a little more exclusive. We're going to make sure we don't saturate it. But even with limiting to those spots, there's still so much room if we were to allow other people in. So we've sold out a ton of markets. We just launched really 3 months ago, technically 3 months ago, and we've already sold out 1/6 of the US. So if you do the math on that, by year 2, we should have fully sold out all of the US. And I think that's something that people like the exclusivity, because we're not selling a system. We can sell 100 investors, 20 investors, 10 investors. We don't sell a lot of investors in the market, because we don't, we want to make sure that the people that we get into the program get a big part of the cheese, I guess. And so yeah, it's kind of like a franchise-like model. I mean, if you think about it, it's like we have 9 years of data. It's worked for us, and now it's working for a lot of other students very quickly. So basically, it's taking the formula that we've used, you plug it into your market, and literally within 30 days, you can start doing deals.
Got it. I love it. Okay, so you've been doing this obviously 3 months with multiple people, getting a lot of success. Okay, What about, so are they doing this virtual with you? Do they have to like come to your office? Like, how is the setup done?
Yeah, so this is a pretty much a mostly done for you system, meaning we buy the media, we do the production, like 90% of the work we do for you. In fact, we can do almost 100% of it. And what I mean by that is we do push that whoever owns the business to be on the commercials. They're the brand, they're the face, and there's a lot of tangibles and intangibles to that. For instance, I've got a guy in South Carolina that he went to church a week or two after his commercial aired, and he had a bunch of people come up to him and be like, I didn't realize you invested in real estate. And then all of a sudden it's like different conversations and, oh, I've got someone that's looking to sell their house. I'll refer them to you, right? So, those are the kinds of things that you're going to get when you're on TV. Like people, respect you, they want to talk to you, and they're going to send more, they're more likely to send business your way. But I do have people that have a thick accent that feel like they don't look good on TV. I have some people that have their real estate license that don't want to be on camera because of conflict potentially with their other business. So I've shot many commercials for other clients to where they say, you know what, here, you pick the scripts, or they pick the scripts and give them to me and say, go ahead and shoot the commercial. I can set up my camera guy. I can shoot the commercial in 15 minutes. Send it to my production guy. He can edit it within a few days, and all of a sudden, bam, they've got a full TV production, commercial produced, and it's ready to go on the air. So I've only had one person come to my studio, but it's because they lived an hour away, and I was shooting anyway. And I said, you know what, why don't you just come down and I'll shoot it for you and talk you through it. But that's part of my program is teaching you how to do the commercials and shoot the commercials. But we also are able to get you free studio time in your area, so you don't have to do the setup for that either. We'll take care of that for you. So it's as done for you as you want it to be.
Nice. I love that. So what markets are you investing in? Are you doing this in Cal, or are you doing this in virtual markets as well for your own business?
Yeah, so I started in Wichita, Kansas 9 years ago. Like I said, we've had great success with it. And now that I've launched the program and students are having success within the first 30 days, multiples on their money within the first 30 days, I'm actually starting to partner up with people in other markets where I invest in the TV commercials and we split profits. And I've actually, someone encouraged me to check into San Diego and look at the rates. And we got some really good TV rates here in San Diego where I live. So I'm partnering up with another investor. Like I said, I like automated. So we're splitting the commercial costs. My team is going to answer the calls, and then his team is going to tie the properties up virtually because he's not in this market, or his team's not in this market. So they're going to tie up the properties virtually and wholesale them. So nice. I have a lot of students that have either bought into multiple markets right away or have had success in one market, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, I need to buy this other market before someone else takes it. So yeah, I'm doing multiple markets now. I've got students doing multiple markets, and this is an unbelievable way to just plug in something into another market without having to do a lot of work. And all you got to do is change out the phone number and the website, and then that's it. And then start doing deals in another market.
Nice. I love that. So is this your only marketing channel now? Is this solely you just do TV for your deals, or are you doing anything else?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I met with my team a couple of days ago and we looked at our deals again, and we look at them. I don't really look at them that often, but I'm like, I think it's like 3 out of 4 deals we get is TV. And it's kind of like the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of your marketing produces 80% of your results. Well, for us, it's I guess it's about that. 80% of our results, give or take, come from TV. And so I'm thinking, we're putting a lot of efforts into direct mail and texting and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, maybe we need to shut the other channels off, and that way we can concentrate our efforts on the other businesses we have or whatever. But yeah, most of our leads come from TV, and that's been by far most consistent over 9 years. There's nothing else that I've done for 9 years straight. Facebook's been on and off. Direct mail's been on and off. Cold calling in my market just for some reason just didn't work well. Texting is doing okay. That's still in a small market like Wichita. You can only text so many people. So yeah, that's our main marketing channel, and that's what drives most of our business today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if people want to get a hold of you, kind of what's the best way for people to kind of reach out?
Yeah, if you want to go apply and see if you're a good fit for the program. So we do the newer investors in now, but we also screen you very well. We want to make sure you can handle the deals and all that. And it is market exclusive. So if you want to apply and see if your market's available, go to realestatemasterstv.com. Again, realestatemasterstv.com. Quick application. Book a call with me. I'm taking the calls right now. So you can talk directly to me and see if you're a good fit and see if your market's open.
Awesome. That's good. And I don't know if it's in there, guys. I'm just curious. I don't get any affiliate, from this, but drop my name in there. Just, I'd love to see, how many of our listeners actually reach out and do this. I'd love to hear about your success if you do decide to do it. So I appreciate, Tony. Anything else? I always like to ask investors this because, obviously you're successful. You've been in the business 20 years. And I always, we have a lot of new people as well as, advanced people listening. If you were getting started again, would you do anything differently?
I get that question all the time. I'll give you two different answers. I think one is obvious. I would have done TV commercials starting out. That would have blown up my business right away. So that's something, hindsight, looking back, I'd been like, man, if I would have thought of TV commercials or someone would have gotten me into TV commercials right away, that's 11 years worth of branding and deals I could have done in the beginning. Number two is, let's see, how do I put this? I would say surround yourself with the right people. So there's multiple facets to this. I tell people if they're getting in the business that if they don't have a job they like and is providing for them very well right now, go work for someone that's doing what you want to do. So if you want to be a super successful investor, go work for one. You're going to see their mentality. You're going to see their systems. You're going to be able to see exactly what they do so that you can learn on their dime, right? Yep. So that's one. Two is, if you're like me and don't like working for somebody else, surround yourself with people that are doing high levels of business. So I want a real estate mastermind myself, and I've got a ton of high level people in there. So I'm now letting newer people in the group so they can learn from those people and the value they're getting from someone that's doing 50, 100, even up to 300 deals a year, to be able to pick their brain, see what they're doing, and just be around that success is invaluable. The last thing I'll say is the people you hire in your business. So the first 10 years of my business, I hired a lot of the wrong people. I had a lot of wrong subcontractors. It was, for the lack of better terms, if you don't mind me saying, a shit show. I mean, it was, it was good from a perspective of, on paper, I was a millionaire, making money, that kind of thing. But when it came down to it, I was working 80 hours a week. My stress levels were to the max. And so I made a huge change and just started hiring higher quality people. So I hired my sister. She's been on with me for 10 years now. When I hire someone out to do any kind of work, I make sure they're in the top 10 percentile of what they do. So it's, you can't really measure it and say, yeah, they're 10% or 9%. It's just in your mind, you have to ask yourself, are they in the top 10 percentile of what they do? If they are, then they're potentially worth hiring. And even if they're subcontractors, still, I want to find the best of the best. And it shows because now I have 7 businesses now that really run mostly on their own. And even this new TV thing that I'm doing, I'm working in it, but I already have people that are working a lot of the systems. And within about 90 days, I'll be able to step mostly out of it to where I'm just doing some coaching and doing some monthly calls and things like that. So if you surround yourself with good people, magic's going to happen. You're going to go to another level. And then those people that you hire in your business and even outside your business and you subcontract, you hire those right people, your business is going to go to the moon.
Yeah, no, I love that. And how do you find these people? Is it networking? Or what are some of the ways that you're going to find these people that you've found over the time?
Yeah, interesting enough, a lot of the people that I've hired I've either known or been referrals. So my sister, I mentioned I hired 10 years ago. I've hired a few people that I've known before that have done really well for me. People have referred other people to me. In fact, this new hire that I just hired about 30 days ago, someone referred me and said, hey, you need to talk to this girl. She's looking for a job. She's a rock star. I interviewed her, and I typically go further into the process. But after the first interview, I almost gave her the offer right there. But I went ahead and did a second interview, and right there it reconfirmed that I needed to hire her. Hired her on, and within 3 weeks, literally, I'm just throwing stuff at her, and it's like I don't even have to check on it. She figures it out, and she gets it done. So. Yep. Yeah, and then if you don't have resources like that where you're getting referrals, you can go on Wise Hire or Indeed and some of those websites and put out applications and just put them through a good application process and make sure they're the right fit.
Awesome, love it. Well, Tony, I appreciate you jumping on. Super valuable. I've learned a lot. I think we might be doing another call after this. Might be heading on the TV myself. I don't know. I'm thinking already. I don't know how I'd go down. Right, in an English guy.
Your accent would crush it, dude. Are you kidding me? People would remember that.
Yeah. So we need to talk for sure. But yeah, that's great stuff. So I appreciate you sharing. And guys, if you are listening to this, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, if you're on the podcast, make sure again that you subscribe. And check out Tony. Make sure you get hold of him if you're interested. And Tony, anything else?
I don't think so. I was going to go into more benefits of TV. Actually, if you don't mind, I'll just do 5 points real quick, just to reiterate. So TV credibility. All the big brands have huge credibility. You're on TV, you build credibility. 2 is little to no competition. I already talked about that. Number 3, high return on investment. And here's the other thing. Number 4 is high return on time. So not only is it high return on investment, but you think of the things that are the highest return on investment in real estate investing. It's typically texting and cold calling, but those take a lot of time, right? Unless, of course, you outsource it and automate it like you have. But people that I've talked to that have tried to get into the business, they do all of that themselves, and they still don't do it right. So, hiring someone like you who does it and knows it is obviously going to streamline the process. But a lot of people try and do it themselves, and they take a lot of time and they don't get that return. And then I kind of mentioned the fifth thing I like to push is high quality leads. So you think about it, any other form of marketing, you're reaching out to them, right? But with TV, they're calling you. You're the authority. They're calling you. They want to do business with you. So it's going to keep out the tire kickers. The quality of leads is going to be higher. And because they're calling you off a commercial as opposed to 10 postcards that they just got from direct mail, you're hopefully going to be the only one that goes on that appointment. So I just wanted to touch on those real quick, but I think you guys
that's great.
Probably understand it at this point.
Yeah, no, I think, keep drilling it home. That's what people need. They need a clear plan, a clear plan. So I appreciate it. Well, awesome. Tony, it's been a pleasure. I know we're in a couple of groups together, so I'm going to see you shortly on one of them. And again, thank you for joining us.
All right. Thanks, Gavin. I appreciate you and what you do, man.
All right. Appreciate you, bud. Bye-bye.
Bye.